friends, it's Dave and Jackie, and we are back with our monthly card template making class. Today is volume 10. Wow. So after this one, you're going to have 40 different card templates. You can see how I have all mine in this little plastic box. Tell you what, I use these all the time. When I go to make a card, I sit here and I just flip through them, pull out a template that I want to use. I have all my measurements and then I create. So if you're just joining us for the first time in this series, make sure you go back and watch the other ones and make all your templates so you'll have 40 after this class. So you ready to make this month?
I'm ready. I'm a template making machine. Let's get going.
You are. Let's go ahead and flip the camera down and let's start making some card templates. Okay, for those of you that have been following along, you know the drill of this every month. We've got a written tutorial that you can get, but you can also just watch the video and start and stop it and create your templates right along with Dave. So we're going to start with our card base. Several months ago, we kind of got smart, and instead of making our card base a full 8.5 by 5.5 folded in half, we're just using a quarter sheet. So you have to make believe that this is just our card front. Saves cardstock and makes them like less bulky in our little box. So that's our make-believe card front, 5.5 by 4.25. And we're gonna start by putting a layer on it that is 4 by 5.25. So just kind of a standard 1/4 inch smaller layer. So this is template number 37. What are you doing? Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay, so that's going on there. Get it centered.
It's going to be centered.
There you go.
There, okay, perfect.
This one, we're starting out this way. So you get a piece of designer series paper that is 5.25 by 1. You can use whatever.
The fishy hooks.
You can use
that
whatever
probably looks
side
better though.
It doesn't matter.
I need the contrast.
Okay, and we're going to go ahead and just glue it down towards the bottom.
Kind of like that area?
About like so. Now, we just use colored cardstock and DSP that we're not really using some old retired stuff. So it doesn't always coordinate, but it's all about just getting the layout and the measurements. And then there's another piece, and that one is, what is that one?
Okay, that one I'm going to do the fishy hooks.
1.5 by 4. Yep, and it's going to go just like that. Yeah. So the first one was 5.25 by 1, and now 1.5 by 4.
Look at me glue. There we go.
So, and also with all these templates, remember where we use designer series paper, you could also use colored cardstock, or colored cardstock could be designer series paper. So mix and match whatever works for you, because you can use any stamping.
Kind of looks like a flag.
Paper. Kind of does. Okay, those two pieces need to be stuck together. They are 3 by 1 3/4, and then 3 1/8 by 1 7/8. And this we call our focal layer on this card. Now this, and kind of with all the different card templates, you can vary that focal layer size if you want to, depending on what stamps and ink you're using. So we kind of start with one and then make it bigger or smaller. You can change.
Almost centered.
That's pretty good. You could change the shape of it, and then that's.
Now what am I going to do with it?
That one's going to just go about there, partway into each.
Kind of like that.
Kind of like that.
Well, that looks good.
So it could be a die cut shape. It could be anything, but just think of this as your focal layer on your card. So I kind of like this layout. It doesn't give you a real big stamping area, but you get to really show off that designer series paper.
There.
Perfect. So there is template number 37. Now, like I did last month, you guys really liked it, so I stuck with the plan, is the 2 cards that I made are going to use the same 2 stamp sets for all of them. So we're using Happiest Day for 1 set of 4, and then Seaside Wishes for 1 set of 4. So you can see on both of these where we've got the designer series paper, I embossed this layer. So this is where you can change things up. I think this is just a little bit different size. You can see this layer is a little bit bigger, but I adjusted it to go with the stamps that I was using. So you can see how that template was used to make these. And, I switched it that way. So you can be creative. Templates can go in all directions, but it just gives you the basic idea to get started. So there's the first 2 cards that go with our first template. So let's move these aside, and we are going to start on the next one.
Number 2.
So with this one, we're starting out the same way. We got our card base.
Same thing, same size.
5.5 by 4.25. And then, wait, Yeah, 5.5 by 4.25 is our card base. 4 by 5.25 is our layer. Oh, I thought you were going to put help. Help me.
Save me.
Oh,
Oh, that's really crooked. That better move.
it's going to slide with all that glue on.
I know. That's why I put a bunch on there. I know this stuff works. There, that's pretty close.
Okay. Then for this one, you're going to get 3 designer series paper strips, and they are 3/4 by 4. And what we're going to do, we're going to kind of lay them on here first. One's going to go in the middle, and this one's going to be kind of centered up and down. And then the one to the left is going to be down a little bit, and the one to the right is going to be...
Oh, like climbing steps.
Yeah.
Okay, I can climb steps.
So it's easiest if you glue that middle one first, because you can kind of center it. Now these, again, could be cardstock, different colors. You could emboss them. They could be all the same DSP. They could be 3 different pieces. I kind of like, in this case, I've got the 2 outside ones are the same, if he uses the right side here.
I am, because I think it looks good that way.
I know.
So something like, oh,
Yep, I'd go, there you go.
up there. That makes it look good.
And then the one on the right, go up about the same amount. You're going to run out of glue because you're putting too much on there, you know.
I like using glue.
I know you.
Then I can move my parts and pieces. Whoop, like that.
Like that. Okay, then this one was originally designed so that your focal point is really just a greeting. And that's going to just go across the middle.
Just like that?
Just like that. Now, again, I would adjust that size if your greeting is bigger or smaller, or you're going to see in a second where I really kind of went rogue and did it different. But think of that as your focal layer. It could even be a circle, whatever. So focal layer, adjust that, but it
Just like that.
gives you a nice background with that designer series paper strips.
So what's it look like in a card?
So here is the, ooh, got dimensional there. There is
How unusual.
my first one. And I think the size is adjusted a little bit different than that one. And I layered it. But you can see real simple stamping, but just let that designer series paper really be the pop on the card.
And your steps are going down and my steps are going up.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. I guess I didn't follow my idea. But that just goes to show how you can mix and match them. You know, or again, you could do it this way and turn things. So, and then my second one was Seaside Wishes. This one's where I really changed it up and I left off one of the strips. Again, I started high. You started low. But again, it doesn't matter. But I was able to take this idea, change it a little bit. I originally had another one laying on there, but then you couldn't see those embossed sand dollars. So I took it off. And then my focal image is a cutout sand dollar. So it kind of varies quite a bit, but this is what I started from. And that just really shows how you can use these templates. So there is, what would that be, number 38 in our series. Okay, there's your card base. And this time we're going to start out with a piece that is 3 by 4 1/4. And that's just going to get glued in the center.
The middle there?
Yep, so it's 3 by 4 1/4. And we're using colored, could be DSP.
Looks like a sheep.
Stick that on there. And then the next piece I'm going to give you is DSP.
I got crooked. Hold on, let me fix this.
It's 3/4 inch.
Well, I'm not fixing this one today that well.
Good enough. By 5.5. And it's going to go straight down the middle over that.
That, good.
So 3/4.
I can handle that.
I know, that's an easy one. You sure you don't want that side showing?
Oh, I want the flies showing.
Oh, okay, good.
I like the fishing theme on these things.
I know, I do those just for you.
Oh, look at how slippery that bugger was.
Okay.
There.
Then our focal layer on this one is 2.5 by 3.
And I bet it goes right there.
Yep. 2.5.
That's where I'm going to put it.
By 3 3/4. So this is where you would do your stamping, design your card. It can be stamped right on it, or you could put some die cut layers. And there you go. Easy peasy. Now, before I bring in the other cards, usually I don't do this, but since I designed these a long time ago, I have some already. But I wanted to bring these in and show you how when I make these templates, I then just take a pen and I write my measurements right on them. So when these go into my little bin there and I flip through them to find a card, all my measurements are right there. Okay, so let's bring in our cards. Now, on that tutorial that I kept referencing, it does give you all the measurements to make your templates, and then it gives you all the step-by-step instructions and measurements to make my cards. So you'll get 4 cards, complete instructions for using Seaside Wishes stamp set, and 4 cards with Happiest Day. So 8 ideas altogether on that tutorial. And here, kept it really simple, just did some stamping on there. For my little lines on there, I just used a gel pen and just drew around the edge to add that little bit of an accent to it. And then on our Seaside Wishes one, I kind of got a little fancy here and did a bunch of die cutting and embossing. But again, you can see how I use the template to make these. This would be a good one too, depending on your stamps, to be able to go that direction with it. So there we go. So there is 39. And so
now for number 40.
Our last one for the day. There's your card base.
My card base.
And actually you can set that aside. We're going to start with this piece.
Whoa.
Which that is, what is that? 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then I'm going to give you 4 pieces of Designer Series paper. And these are going to just be put on here in a grid pattern.
Oh, okay.
And you can mix and match them, show all different prints, or you could, you know, do 2 and 2. But these pieces are 1 5/8 by 2
so
1/4.
Just gotta kind of go like close.
Yeah, you're gonna have a little bit smaller than that.
Somewhere's around there.
Yeah, pretty little border. Yep, because you want enough so that you have room in between, so you get a little bit of the border in between as well. Hopefully that's not too big there.
That's close.
That's close. You'll get the idea. You want to try to get them even, but close enough. So again, those are 1 5/8 by 2 1/4 for the Designer Series paper on that. Now, as he's sticking these down, the tutorial, if you place an order with us during the month of July, we will send you as a thank you gift the tutorial to make these templates and the 8 cards for free. That's our thank you gift for placing a $50 order. Or it also is available for purchase. Now you can find the link down in the video description. That'll take you to the blog.
Now this has to go on here.
Yep, we'll take you to the blog post, and that blog post will give you all the details on the tutorial. Get that on there. And then again, this one has a focal point that can completely vary however you want. So think of that as the background of your card, and then your focal point's going to go in the center. So for this one, I just punched out a circle. So it could be a circle. It could be a square.
So then you glue in a circle. Zoom.
It could be any shape that you want.
Like that.
There you go. There is our last template of the day. So here's our 2 cards. And I really like these sets as they contrast, because this one I kept super simple. This one I did die cutting. We did some embossing on there. Again, you can see I used my gel pen. I actually even used my gel pen on this Designer Series paper, and I thought gave it a fun pop. But you can see there's our background and then our focal image on there, and that will be our cards with that one. So again, if we bring these all in, you'll see there's 4 cards with each of these stamp sets using the different templates and showing you how versatile those templates are. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've been watching along with us. And if not, you can go back so that you can make all of your templates. The blog post that's linked down in the video description, that will have links to all the past volumes. So this is 10. You got 9 to catch up if you're finding us for the first time. These card templates are a great resource to help you make quick and easy cards. So thanks for watching, friends. We'll be back next month with 4 new templates. So until then,
stampers, have a stamp. Happy day.
There you have a stamp. Happy day. Bye, everyone.